knowing you. Because today when you walk in here, you have new experiences. You're different. You're transformed in some way. So if I'm to learn about you, I can't start from a fixed position of, I know you. I start from, okay, I'll be humble enough to say, I don't know you, and begin to learn. So that means I'm sensitive. It means I'm developing sensitivity to you, to your needs, to what you have to say, to what your system is saying from a Qigong point of view, without my prejudice getting in the way. So this is one of our greatest teachers, is learning this. Developing ourselves to interact, to be sensitive. So true sensitivity implies no bigotry. True sensitivity says that I am not American or Australian or this or that. I live in a place called that, so if I get on a plane, I need to know where I'm going. And I really like being there, and I like the people there, and I grew up there, and I'm influenced by all of the sights and sounds and smells and tastes and weather. That's all fine. But psychologically, if I own that, then I separate myself from others. I'm none of those things. I'm a human being. And we're all human beings on the same planet. And if we want to get on, we have to put aside that prejudice, which means that I'm developing sensitivity. I'm developing intelligence, the intelligence of compassion, the intelligence of care, of love. Not the intelligence, academic intelligence. We have enough academically clever people, and yet the world is still divided into different opinions and different values. So, to work in this work, you go back and look at the true teachers in this work, Lao Tzu, Gongsa, the different masters. They were all enlightened in that sense. They were not partial or partisan. They weren't divided against any particular view. They were universal. They were in harmony with the universe. They lived and breathed it. They meditated with it. They observed it. They learnt and had great respect for nature, not necessarily as a greenie, but they had great respect for nature in terms of its cycles, the ebbs and flows of the qi, and the inner world and outer world were in harmony. So there was no barrier between the inner qi and the outer qi. In a sense, there's no border. Where does your border stop? At the skin? If it stops at the skin, then you are in disharmony with nature. Most of us stop at the skin. So what we need to do is say, over these 2 days, what can we do to not stop at our skin? So we can be that universe. On Saturday, we did a meditation about developing a qi field and about blending with the infinite universe, and that the universe was in you, that there were no boundaries, that you are that universe. And that's one of the first steps on the way of doing that. That you are infinitely small inwardly, microscopically, subatomically, that it goes to infinity. And outwardly, the universe goes to infinity. That you stand always at infinity anywhere. That you are as big as the universe. That the universe is you, and you are it. This is part of developing the right consciousness or the right mind for Qigong, instead of just learning medical text, which just makes you a clever medical person who has a certain knowledge. But to work well in this field, we don't just want clever knowledge. We do want clever knowledge, sure. We have to know what we're doing. We're not meant just to sort of guess it and say, well, I'll just do this and you do that. We have to have guidelines, and there are certain rules, if you like, or methods or ways, tried and tested, that work really well. But for us to work with that even better, then we have to be the Qigong person. We have to be that receptive tool, that whole receptive being for the qi to talk to us and us to commune with it and to work with the people. So we've got to chip away at the unessentials here. Krishnamurti had a way of talking about this. He said, a sculpture chips away at the unessentials to reveal the truth. And this is a sense about what we are, is that we want to chip away at the things that prevent us being sensitive. What are the things that impede me knowing you, or you, or you, or you? And those things are prejudice and conditioning. I already know my opinions, etc. Now, if you're not interested in this, then that's okay. And go down to the food court and have another cuppa and catch a tram home. But if you're interested in this, and you're okay with this type of conversation, then dig deep, think about it, feel it, and develop. Because ultimately,